Real Madrid woke up to bad news that changes the shape of their season. Antonio Rudiger, the imposing German centre-back, whose presence has been a cornerstone of the back line, suffered a muscle injury in training and scans revealed damage to the rectus femoris in his left thigh. The club confirmed the diagnosis and medical reports now point to a recovery period measured in weeks rather than days, roughly 10 to 12 weeks on many expert estimates, a timeline that immediately rules him out of a swathe of upcoming fixtures and forces Xabi Alonso into difficult short-term decisions. On paper, Rudiger's contribution has been more than just metres covered or aerial duels won. He has been a leader, a presence who organises the defence, imposes himself physically in danger moments, and gives teammates permission to be aggressive. Losing a player who combines experience with personality is not simply a tactical tweak. It's a psychological jolt inside a squad that already carries a handful of injury concerns. Coaches can replace positions. Replacing voice, instinct, and match-winning temperament is harder. The timing, with key Liga and Champions League tests clustered in the coming months, magnifies the impact and forces the club into an emergency reallocation of minutes and trust. Looking at the calendar, the absence will likely stretch across headline fixtures, domestic rivals and heavyweight European ties that test depth and character. Real Madrid now face the prospect of the Clásico, a trip to Anfield to face Liverpool, continental nights in the Champions League, and a congested domestic schedule where rotation becomes unavoidable. Each of those games were already important. Without Rudiger, they become strategic traps where one mistake can have season-altering consequences. The coach must balance urgency with prudence, alternating starters to avoid burning out players while also fielding a team capable of surviving pressure moments. So who steps up? The immediate alternatives are clear. Eder Militao remains a trusted starter. When fit, Dean Huijsen has emerged as a promising option, and veterans like David Alaba provide experience and versatility. The club may also rely on younger squad members and tactical shifts, shifting to a back three in certain matches or leaning on midfielders to offer cover, but every tactical adjustment carries trade-offs. Over-reliance on a narrow defensive group risks fatigue and further injuries. Underestimating the psychological hole left by Rudiger risks sloppy concentration at decisive moments. The early months of the season will be a coaching test not only of substitutions but of man management and rotation philosophy. Beyond tactics, there's the human element, a dressing room losing a voice on the pitch. Rudiger's leadership has often been the fine margin in tight encounters, and his absence will call for other players to fill that emotional leadership gap. Younger stars will be asked to grow up quickly. The manager will need to instill confidence and calm. The club's medical team, meanwhile, must navigate rehabilitation carefully. Pushing too fast risks setbacks. Holding him back too long delays his return in peak condition. The most sensible course for a player of his importance is a cautious program aimed at full strength upon return, even if that means missing slightly longer. Finally, there is a potential silver lining. While 3 months is a long absence, football is a team sport built to adapt. If Real can reorganise, distribute minutes sensibly and find temporary leaders, they can limit the damage. If not, the next 2 to 3 months could tilt the balance in domestic and European races. The simple truth is this injury changes priorities overnight. Survival becomes immediate, and the question every fan now asks is whether this squad has the depth and the mentality to respond. The hoped-for return window points toward late November or December if recovery goes perfectly, but the club will only welcome him back when he is fully ready to contribute again. Anything less would be a false economy. Real Madrid's season remains unwritten, but this chapter demands character from the coach, from the squad, and from the club's entire structure.